What you're about to see isn't just another Raw recap. Last night, we witnessed something that WWE has been desperately trying to hide from you. And I'm going to expose exactly why CM Punk's ambush was the most orchestrated attack we've seen all year, and why Triple H is laughing all the way to WrestleMania while you defend this garbage booking. Yeah, I said it. And before you type your angry comment, watch this entire video. Because what happened to CM Punk last night isn't what they're telling you it is. Here's what WWE wants you to believe. CM Punk, the returning hero, the man who changed wrestling forever, got jumped by Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker after a heated segment involving a steel chair. Poor Punk, right? The veteran getting ganged up on by two hungry young lions. Wrong. Let me tell you what actually happened and why this entire angle is designed to make you forget that CM Punk has been the most protected wrestler on the Raw roster since his return. While your favorites are jobbing to mid-carders and losing clean every other week, Punk gets jumped by two monsters and WWE expects us to believe he's the underdog? I'm about to break down every single frame of that segment, and by the end of this video, you're going to realize you've been worked, and not in the good way. But first, let's set the stage for what was supposed to be must-see TV. Last night on Raw, CM Punk came out to the ring with purpose. And when I say purpose, I mean that carefully scripted, rehearsed-to-death purpose that WWE has been force-feeding us since his comeback. The man grabbed a microphone and started his usual routine, talking about respect, talking about the business, throwing out those insider terms that make casual fans feel smart. But then, the steel chair. Now here's where things get interesting. Punk didn't just pick up any chair. He picked up the chair, the same chair that's been used in 3 different segments over the past month. And if you've been paying attention, which clearly some of you haven't, this chair has become a symbol, a weapon, a MacGuffin that WWE keeps putting in Punk's hands because they don't know how else to make him look edgy anymore. Punk held that chair like he was about to make a statement. He talked about how he's fought everyone, conquered everyone, and how anyone who wants to challenge him needs to understand what they're walking into. Typical Punk promo, right? Passion, fire, intensity, all the things we love about him when he's on. But here's the problem. While Punk was out there talking about being a fighter, being a warrior, being the best in the world, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker were being positioned as hired guns. Not rivals, not competitors, hired guns. And that should make you furious. The ambush itself was textbook WWE chaos. Reed and Breakker stormed the ring from different directions. Punk tried to fight back. Give him credit, he sold it well. He swung that steel chair, connected with Reed's shoulder, even managed to DDT Breakker on the ramp. But then the numbers game took over. 2-on-1. Reed with the tsunami splash, Breakker with the spear that nearly broke Punk in half. The crowd gasped. Commentary sold it like Punk had been murdered. Social media exploded. Mission accomplished, right? Wrong again. Let's talk about what you didn't see. Let's talk about the camera angles that conveniently cut away. Let's talk about how this entire segment was designed not to elevate Reed and Breakker as legitimate threats, but to give Punk his WrestleMania moment in 3 months when he inevitably overcomes the odds. You see, this is what modern WWE does. They create adversity for their chosen ones. They manufacture obstacles that look insurmountable, but are actually calculated stepping stones. And before you say, that's just wrestling, bro, no, that's lazy wrestling. Real adversity in wrestling comes from equal booking. It comes from making your audience genuinely question who's going to win. When did you ever question that Punk was going to come out on top of this storyline? Day 1? Week 1? Month 1? Exactly. Bronson Reed, a man who should be in the main event scene based on his sheer presence and ability, is being used as a prop. Bron Breakker, a second-generation talent with unlimited potential, is being used as muscle. And why? So CM Punk can have another David versus Goliath story when we all know David has corporate backing and a WrestleMania contract in his pocket. Now, let's circle back to that steel chair, because this is where the psychology gets really interesting and really insulting to our intelligence. WWE has conditioned us to see the steel chair as the great equalizer. It's the weapon that can turn the tide. When Stone Cold grabbed a chair, you believed mayhem was about to happen. When Edge grabbed a chair, you knew someone was getting concertoed. When CM Punk grabs a chair, we're supposed to believe he's pushed to his limit. But here's the twist they're not telling you. Punk opened the segment with the chair. He didn't grab it in desperation. He didn't use it as a last resort. He came out planning to use it. That's not a man on the edge. That's a man following a script. The chair wasn't a weapon last night. It was a prop in a stage play, and Reed and Breakker weren't attackers. They were actors hitting their marks. This is what separates the Attitude Era from the corporate era. Back then, when someone got jumped, it felt real, it felt spontaneous, it felt like anything could happen. Now we get carefully choreographed ambushes that are promoted in advance, spoiled on social media, and designed to pop the crowd without any real consequence. So why does this matter? Why am I spending 15 minutes breaking down one segment from one episode of Raw? Because this isn't just about CM Punk. This isn't just about Bronson Reed or Bron Breakker. This is about WWE's entire creative philosophy in 2024. Wait, scratch that. 2025. WWE has mastered the art of creating moments without making memories. They've perfected the formula of creating viral clips without creating compelling stories. Last night's ambush will get millions of views. It'll trend on Twitter. It'll be dissected on every wrestling podcast for the next week. And then it'll be forgotten because there's no depth here. There's no reason for Reed and Breakker to team up other than Triple H told them to. There's no history. There's no personal vendetta. There's just two big men attacking one older man with a chair, and we're supposed to care because CM Punk is CM Punk. That's not storytelling. That's brand management. And before the Punk defenders flood the comments, I like CM Punk. I respect what he's done for this industry, but liking someone doesn't mean accepting mediocre booking. It doesn't mean pretending that transparent storytelling is revolutionary television. The real story that should be getting attention is why Bronson Reed, a man who could be this generation's Vader, is being relegated to being someone's muscle. The real story is why Bron Breakker, who has all the tools to be a multi-time world champion, is taking orders instead of making statements. But we don't talk about that because WWE is very good at directing our attention where they want it. They're magicians, and we're the audience watching the hand they want us to watch, while the real trick happens somewhere else. So what happens next? Let me predict the next 6 weeks of Raw, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Week 1, Punk sells the attack. Maybe he doesn't show up, or he shows up in a neck brace. Social media speculation about his status. Week 2, Punk returns with fire in his eyes, cuts a promo about how he's fought through worse. Maybe we get a video package about his injuries, his comeback, his resilience. Weeks 3 through 4, cat and mouse games. Reed and Breakker ambush him again. Maybe they take out a friend of Punk's, someone from commentary or a backstage official. Raise the stakes without actually raising the stakes. Week 5, contract signing for a match at the Royal Rumble. Or maybe they'll drag it to Elimination Chamber. Doesn't matter. Tables will be broken, security will be overwhelmed, Michael Cole will scream, "This is chaos!" Week 6 through 8, the build to the match where Punk overcomes the odds, probably wins clean or with some clever veteran technique, and we're supposed to celebrate the heart of a champion. Rinse, repeat, forget. I've seen this movie before. We all have. And the worst part, it works. Because WWE knows that spectacle sells better than substance. They know that giving CM Punk a microphone and 2 monsters to fight is easier than building 3 separate compelling characters with interconnected motivations. Here's the question nobody's asking. What does CM Punk actually add to this storyline? If you replaced CM Punk with Seth Rollins, would this angle be different? If you put Drew McIntyre in this position, would the story change? If you gave this exact angle to Cody Rhodes, would anyone care more or less? The answer is no, because this isn't about CM Punk the character. This is about CM Punk the brand. This is about WWE capitalizing on the nostalgia and loyalty of fans who remember Pipeline Bomb CM Punk, Summer of Punk 2011 CM Punk, and not Corporate Soldier 2025. And that's the tragedy here. CM Punk could be telling revolutionary stories. He could be elevating talent. He could be using his position to make Raw unpredictable and dangerous again. Instead, he's the center of the same formulaic booking that every other top star gets. Protected finishes, sympathetic beatdowns, manufactured adversity. Meanwhile, Bronson Reed, who should be smashing through the entire roster as an unstoppable monster, is someone's henchman, and Bron Breakker, who has all the tools to be carrying Raw into the next decade, is taking orders. That's the travesty. That's what should make you angry. Not that CM Punk got jumped, but that the jump means nothing. Look, I know this video is going to upset people. I know there are Punk fans in the comments right now ready to tell me I don't understand wrestling, I don't understand storytelling, I don't understand the business. But here's what I do understand. Wrestling is at its best when it's unpredictable, when it challenges us, when it makes us believe that anything can happen, not just anything can be scripted to happen. Last night on Raw, we didn't get an ambush, we got a simulation of an ambush. We got all the pieces of what should be an exciting angle, the weapon, the numbers, the violence, without any of the substance that makes it matter. CM Punk will be fine. He's CM Punk. He's going to WrestleMania no matter what happens between now and then. Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker will probably get a decent payday out of this program and then fade back into the mid-card where WWE parks talent they don't know what to do with. And 6 months from now, we'll be having the same conversation about the next big moment that WWE manufactures without bothering to build the foundation. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be this way. WWE has the most talented roster in the history of professional wrestling. They have the resources, they have the platform, they have everything they need to create the kind of television that we talk about for years, not just for trending cycles. What happened last night could have been the start of something special. Instead, it's just another chapter in the book of predictable booking. And that should make all of us demand better. So here's what I want from you. I want you to smash that like button if you agree that WWE can do better. I want you to destroy that comment section telling me whether you think I'm right or if I'm completely off base, but make it good. Give me reasons, give me analysis. Don't just say you're wrong or you don't get it. Make your case. And if you think this video brought something different to the wrestling conversation, if you appreciate someone actually challenging the narrative instead of just regurgitating what WWE tells us to think, then subscribe to WrestleScope because this is what we do here. We don't just recap, we don't just react, we analyze, we critique, we demand better. Because wrestling fans deserve better than recycled storylines and predictable outcomes. We deserve the same level of storytelling that made us fall in love with this business in the first place. Hit that notification bell so you never miss when we break down the real stories happening in WWE, AEW, and wrestling worldwide. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, especially if they're still defending last night's Raw like it was a masterpiece. The truth hurts, but it's the only thing worth talking about. I'm WrestleScope, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll probably be talking about how CM Punk miraculously recovered and cut a promo about how it's clobbering time or whatever catchphrase we're recycling this month. Stay critical, stay passionate, and never stop demanding the wrestling you deserve.